Layne Staley, innovator, icon, vocalist, lover, friend, addict. How is it that someone so talented, who seemingly had everything, could see such a rapid demise? Today we discuss the life and impact of Layne Staley, a beautiful disaster. Layne Staley was born on August 22, 1967, in Bellevue, Washington. Layne's parents are Phil and Nancy Staley. Staley's first noted experience with music was when he was just 3 years old, participating in a rhythm band as the youngest member. At the age of 9, Staley would write for the first time in his Dr. Seuss book that he did in fact want to be a singer, a dream that would quickly manifest. Staley's parents would get divorced when he was just 7 years of age, having a significant impact on his mental health. All in all, Staley was described as a quiet but kind kid who would later combat this through singing. Family had recollected Staley listening to his parents' Black Sabbath records at a young age, with his favorite bands in his teens being Anthrax, The Stooges, and Judas Priest. Staley's first real band experience came with a band named Sleaze while still in high school. Sleaze would eventually form into Alice in Chains in 1986, firstly specializing in glam metal. In 1987, while at the studio, Staley would meet Jerry Cantrell, who would become an integral part of the band. Cantrell had previously heard Alice in Chains and was impressed with Staley's voice. Being homeless, Cantrell moved in with Staley and the pair lived together for the better part of a year. Later that year, Alice in Chains would disband, with Staley joining a funk band in which he wanted Cantrell to join. Cantrell said he'd join under one condition: Staley had to perform vocals for his band, consisting of Sean Kinney and Mike Starr. 1987 to 1988 would have the band touring all over Seattle, gaining local attention. Local promoter Randy Houser would hear the band and request they record a demo. The demo would then be passed to music manager Susan Silver, who would release the demo to Columbia record executives. The executives were pleased and would sign the band in 1989. Alice in Chains would release their debut album, Facelift, in 1990, mastering the band's signature style and producing hit Man in the Box. It is rumored that around this time Staley's drug use would significantly increase. In 1992, Alice in Chains would release their second studio album, Dirt. The album was met with critical acclaim, debuting at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 300. With this increase in success, band members would increase drug use, often spending thousands on substances and partying. In 1993, Staley would save bandmate Starr's life from a drug overdose. At this point, Staley's drug abuse had gotten so severe, the band hardly toured for Dirt. Staley would start attending rehab programs to no avail. It's rumored that Staley had attended rehab 13 different times. In 1994, the band would release Jar of Flies, debuting at number 1 on the charts. Again, the band would not tour due to Layne's deteriorating physical and mental health. During this time, Staley would have a brief stint with the band The Gacy Bunch. In 1995, the public would begin to notice the addiction issues stemming from the band's frontman, with his deteriorating condition put on display. 1995 would also bring the release of Tripod, which would go double platinum. The band would yet again fail to tour, and Cantrell's frustration with Layne was becoming evident. After this, the band would take 2.5 years off before performing one of Layne's last shows on MTV's Unplugged, taking place on April 10th, 1996. The performance was marked as harrowing. Layne had lost a significant amount of weight as well as teeth. It was evident he was overly intoxicated for the show, at times struggling to perform. Around this time, Layne's former fiancée, Demery Parrott, would die, sending Layne further into a downward spiral which friends noted was a major impact to his demise. In 1997, Layne would purchase a 1,500 square foot condo in Seattle, in which he would spend the majority of the rest of his life. Friends would occasionally stop by and family would call, but Layne had become a recluse. He had lost most of his teeth, weighed under 100 pounds, and was completely consumed by his addiction. 1998 would bring the Alice in Chains frontman's last public appearance, attending a Jerry Cantrell solo concert. From 1998 to his eventual death in 2002, Layne was rarely, if ever, seen. His skin had become a sickly pale and his legs had atrophied. Heroin had taken everything from the once popular rock superstar. Layne's mom would comment how the family always tried to support Layne and never gave up on him, but it was impossible to help someone who didn't want to help themselves. Layne had almost fallen to the bottom of his addiction pit. His days were numbered. In April of 2002, Layne's manager had noticed no financial transactions for the singer in over 2 weeks, prompting a call to Staley's mother, who would then notify the authorities. The worst had happened. Staley had been found dead, weighing only 86 pounds. The death was classified as an accidental overdose, and it was concluded that Layne died on April 5th, the same day as fellow grunge vocalist Kurt Cobain. Layne Staley, innovator, icon, vocalist, lover, friend, legend. Although Layne's life on this earth was short, he will leave a forever impact. Layne lives on through his music,